This video tutorial will guide you through creating a basic scene with images and text using VMComposer. To configure VMComposer for basic user mode, click Edit, Preferences in the toolbar. To create a new project, click New Project in the Welcome dialog, or File, New in the toolbar. When a new project is created, VMComposer automatically creates a full screen layout. You can edit the layout by clicking the Edit Panes button. Select a layout from the predefined list, or create your own using the interactive editor. Click and drag the pane borders to resize them, or right-click to add or delete panes. Once your pane layout is defined, you can start adding scenes. To add a scene, select a pane by clicking it in the pane preview. The selected pane is highlighted in yellow. Then click the Add Scene button. This will display the scene editor. Here you have the ability to edit all aspects of a scene. The first thing to do is name your scene. A descriptive name will help you identify it in the project overview later on. A scene can have three background types: image, external video, or MPEG video. For now, we'll use an image background. The Add Video button is disabled because video is not allowed over an image background. To add an image, click the Add Image button. This displays the image selection dialog. Click the Browse button to select an image file from your hard drive. Download the VMComposer media library for hundreds of free high-definition images. VMComposer provides three resizing options to automatically fit the selected image to the size of the scene. Stretch to Fit stretches the original image to fit the scene. The original image is shown on the left. A preview of how the image will appear in the scene is shown on the right. Preserve Aspect Ratio resizes the image while preserving the original aspect ratio to fit the size of the scene. Borders are added to the top and bottom, or the sides if required. The color of the border can be changed by clicking the Border button. Zoom and Crop selects a portion of the original image based on the red selection box. Use the Zoom slider to adjust the size of the selection box, and click and drag it to adjust the location. A preview of the image as it will appear in the scene is shown on the right. Click the Add Text button to add a text box. The new text box will appear in the left corner of the scene. Click and drag the edge of the text box to reposition it within the scene. Or click and drag the resizing handles to resize the text box. Click inside the text box to edit the text. Make a selection and use the Font toolbar to change the font, size, and color. Each character can have unique formatting. The scene editor supports copy, paste, and has full undo and redo support. To select more than one text box, hold the Control key and click the second text box. Notice the first selected text box has white resizing handles, and the second has black resizing handles. Using the Alignment toolbar, you can adjust the position of selected text relative to the first selected object. Now that we have added several images and text objects, we can see our scene starting to take shape in the timeline. The cursor controls what is shown in the scene preview above. It can be moved by clicking and dragging it, or using the transport controls. The transport controls can fast forward to the end of the scene, fast rewind to the beginning, go forward one event, go back one event, play automatically, and stop. The time multiplier slider speeds up the automated preview when the play button is clicked. Drag the slider to the left for real time, to the right for a quicker preview. Notice the order of the text objects displaying in the scene preview. Click and drag an event to reposition it in the timeline. Notice that the order of the text objects displaying in the scene preview has now changed. Click and drag the edge of an event to adjust the duration. Some text objects display more quickly now than before. The minimum duration for an event is 1 second. If there are multiple events that you would like to display at the same time, you can group them by right-clicking the event in the timeline and choosing either Group with Previous or Group All. Group with Previous will group the event with the previous event in the timeline. Group All will group all of the previous events back to the first image. The grouped text objects will now display simultaneously. Grouped events can be moved in the timeline and have the duration adjusted just like a regular event. Events can later be ungrouped by right-clicking and selecting Ungroup or Ungroup All. All of the text objects now display individually as they did before. The scheduling section allows you to define time windows in which the scene is allowed to play. If Play Always is selected, the scene will always be allowed to play. If a specific time or date window is specified, the scene will only be allowed to play inside that time or date window. For a more detailed explanation of scheduling, check out the scheduling video tutorial. Click OK to save the scene and return to the project overview. Repeat this process to create one or more scenes in each pane. Manage your scenes for each pane in the scene list using the Add, Edit, and Delete buttons. When you're finished, be sure to save your work by clicking File, Save in the toolbar.